been an issue.
I mean, Husker definitely can always be an issue.
Yeah.
It just depends on how his laning phase goes. And that's probably what they're more scared of. They're not scared of the mid game. They're scared of the lanes. Because if you go against Huskar with 2 melee, you're going to get blasted. So, all right, we got some predictions here, Owen. What are you thinking?
Oh, this is... Player with most last hits of 7 minutes.
I'm going to say Ice Ice
I'm
Ice.
going to go with the old Ice Ice Ice.
Yeah.
Longest kill streak. I'm going to go with the old 11. Highest
You're
net
just
worth.
going all
I'm going with the Ice Ice Ice. I'm sorry, Sind. Anyway, what's going on here? Old 11 and Yapsor giving it some as old 11 heads down. Yapsor is going to back away. Total number of player deaths. Where's Cinderin? Oh, you don't. Oh, okay. Total number. Yeah, Cinderin is not a number. He will be if he dies. Let's have a look. 36. Go on, Sin, do it for me. Here we have it. Escape Gaming versus EHOME Game 1 as we get ourselves into the lanes. In terms of the lanes, anything that you can imagine we're going to see teams try and avoid, or is it going to be standard stuff in terms of the tri-lanes?
Well, EHOME definitely want to try to go aggressive. If the lane fails, they can always just send all 11 into the woods. Like, they don't have to go for any sort of all-in play. And he's even saved a little bit of money up. He's going to buy some items now. I think maybe he's just going to go straight to jungle. He bought a ton of regen and a stout shield, so yet to be decided if he's actually going to go to that lane or not. If he doesn't, the blink timing is going to be very fast, and I feel like Yapsor is limited in what he can accomplish on an Elder Titan against some kind of AFK jungler, right? Because you can't really just follow the hero around an Elder Titan. So the early game for Escape is going to be more predicated around, you know, getting Quake farm, getting Era farm, and then hoping that you can group up and get something done before the Axe gets a blink, because that's going to be a really big issue for them. Stopping that initiation and also having to worry about Naga Siren Song during the mid game.
Interesting there as well. They did have 4 heroes around at the bottom rune Escape Gaming, but not wanting to contest against EHOME's lineup there. Is it just the superior early game fight? Is there a reason why they wanted to dodge a fight at the bottom rune there, Escape Gaming?
They have okay level 1, I guess, but the problem is Invoker, he only has Sunstrike, and that's not really the easiest thing in the world to land. So they're going to make it so that they have the aggro tri-lane still, and they're just going to put the Axe against the Void, which is obviously a favorable matchup for the Axe. Against any melee, Old 11 is going to do more than fine. And then the aggro tri-lane should also do all right. Because, again, committing these heroes to this tri-lane just seems very difficult for Escape to actually get a kill. Like, if anything, Escape are going to be the ones who get jumped.
Yeah, we're already just hammering down onto Era. Lanham trying to keep the supports at bay on Escape Gaming, keeping Cinderin and Yapsor away from their fellow core. So bottom lane, top lane, indeed in your words, how do you feel that EHOME, they've got the better hands? And well, bottom lane, let's see if they can actually manage to finish this one through as they try and go in. Sunstrike isn't going to connect to the Echo Stomp. It's going to be walked out of by old Lanham. Yapsor's going to give them the old rundown with the stapler. And a slap and a half here. Ice 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 comes across to fend them away, but as we can see,
I mean, they're getting outplayed, honestly. Like, Lanham is way too far away from Fenrir, so he's just taking, like, these unfavorable trades, and he's almost completely out of regen already. That's not a good thing. Like, their supports are supposed to be beefy and want to trade hits. Sin
coming in as well. Again, Ice 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 looking to finish through for the kill. We're going to quite get it. Both teams really going at it down here, making sure to try and just hinder Era's CS. I mean, at the moment, he's 6 for 2. He's not falling behind that far at all. He's still finding the farm. And the question is, I mean, how much does this aggressive tri-lane on the bottom lane need to achieve? Do they need to be finding kills, or is it enough just to slow down the Drow's early game?
I think it's okay to slow down the Drow, and the other thing, too, to keep in mind, so we're going to see a defensive stomp here. Actually hits on both and gets the rune. What a player, Yapsor. That was such a nice play. If he didn't get that rune, he was dead, for sure. But the biggest thing to me right now that's concerning is look at the mid matchup. Old Chicken versus Quakefa right now. Old Chicken is destroying him, and Quakefa is an Exort Invoker with Drow Aura. That should not happen that badly.
Hey, this is
he's doubling his CS at 2.5 minutes. That is insane. So if they're forcing like the supports of Escape to sit bottom, and your mid's losing this hard, yeah, I definitely think it favors EHOME.
I guess on the plus side, of course, we've got to remember as well, Quakefa is Invoker. It is a hero you can recover from a bad laning stage on. And as long as he doesn't feed, doesn't die, he will still have the Escape to climb back up that net worth graph as the game goes up. But indeed, Death Prophet's going to have the edge, and you know that could potentially lead to early towers and early pressure elsewhere on the map. Kezu jumping away from Old 11. This lane at the top. Kezu's still managing to find a fair bit of CS. He's 13 for 2, 11 for 0. So Kezu arguably playing this lane very nicely against the Axe.
He's gotten a lot more in the first few waves than I think he probably should. But once the pulls start coming out and he's getting his creep wave denied, that's when the Axe is going to start getting further and further ahead. Fortunately, I don't think Kezu needs to win his lane. He just needs to make sure that his chronos are on point, and you can follow it up with things like Sunstrike and Echo Stomps and whatnot to get kills.
Still hunting for that first blood, both teams. Yapzor stomping down onto one. The Thunder Strike out. Yapzor falling low. The double man Gus, but already they've lost one. First blood here to the side of EHOME, trying to finish off old Lanham, but he's too tanky on this Ogre. They just don't quite have the damage at the moment of Escape Gaming. So EHOME get themselves the kill, and they lose nothing in return on this bottom lane.
They just didn't have a good target to go on. Like, if you're attacking Lanham, okay, that's an Ogre Magi. He's got 10 armor when he's around Ice Ice Ice, who has that Bassi, and 700 health. And I see a call here. Just going for a little bit of farm. But yeah, the Escape have an issue where a lot of their damage is physical during the early game, and both Ice 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 and Lanham have just an insane amount of armor.
Poison touch from Sin down onto the old Ogre. I'll turn around, try and slow them out here. The Stomp is going to connect. It's going to allow Yapzor and Sin to close a little bit of the gap. Also, Quaifa's moving over as well. He's going to look for the kill. Old Lanham, he's going to look to kill himself to creeps. Isn't going to work out. And ends up feeding a kill to the mid laner of Escape Gaming. Quaifa going to be very happy with that Ogre handed to him on a plate.
As he needs it too, man. He's still, I mean, he's catching up a little bit, and that's to be expected. More points into Exort is more base damage, and then Era's obviously going to be making his way towards level 6 and get more points into Precision Aura. But it's not too bad right now for Escape. I think that their team fights, again, it's going to be very based on what Kezu can do with his Chronosphere placement, and obviously once the Marksmanship Aura comes online, we're looking to see some tower killing, but still a lot of Dota left to be played here.
And again, the supports from both sides just tickling at each other on this bottom lane, making their presence known. As we can see, 25 for 5 on Ice 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 compared to the 15 for 3 of Era. So definite good success at the moment for EHOME. Yapzor stomping it off as Fenris starts to get a little bit too close for his own comfort. Synderen, he's being covered there by Era's Gust to push back the side of EHOME.
It was actually a nice stomp from Yapzor because he stopped the pull. I think that's the main reason why he even put himself in that position in the first place. Because the more creeps that get denied from Era during the early game, the worse off you're going to be. Like, he's only 15 and 4 right now. Of all the heroes that are supposed to be getting farm, he is the lowest. So the pressure that EHOME are applying in the lane so far has been a success.
I mean, look at old Lanham. He just can be wherever he wants.
Dude, he's an Ogre.
He owns the map at this stage.
He's got Windlace, Boots, and Bloodlust. All you do is you walk around and you hit people with a club. That's the Ogre job right now.
And, you know, a fair bit of Yapzor's time's wasted. He's hanging around there. He's like, well, what do I do? Well, looks like I've got to go back to base, refuel, and get myself back out into the lane.
Yeah. The more concerning thing right now is the fact that both the other side lanes are losing in conjunction with the fact that their safe lane is also being pressured. So Old 11's pulled ahead tremendously in terms of farm. Again, expected. It's an Axe versus a melee. The middle lane not going as well as it should have for Quaifa. It's not looking super hot right now, but the nice thing is, I guess, that he went Vanguard first on Axe, so the blink timing is going to be delayed.
That's true. He's not going to be able to make the plays, but at the same time, it's going to be very hard for Escape Gaming to make plays on him. He's not going to die, and you can see his confidence. He's between the tier 1s and the tier 2s, hammering away at Kezu. Old 11 showing no fear at the moment because he knows that they're going to need multiple heroes if they want to have any chance of killing him. Mid lane, Old Lanham coming a little bit too close to the tower.
He actually got scanned before, so they already knew he was there. Quaifa's just trying to bait it out, I guess.
We'll see what he'll get achieved with this. Looks like he's just going to come around and maybe check if Kezu's around. Oh, he's just having a wander, Old Lanham.
He's checking the patented 7-minute rune, you know?
Just
very,
in case.
very standard play. Nah, he was just looking for a kill, but it was a very nicely placed scan from Escape to make sure that Quaifa didn't get dove there. Because I think at this point he doesn't have any Wex, right? Yeah, so he could have very well died in that situation if they weren't ready.
He has got Yapzor hanging around to the side of him. They realise that Old Lanham's gone walkies, so Yapzor's headed over mid. He's going to have the Spirit and the Stomp in case anyone tries to make a go on the Invoker. Top lane again, Axe, Old 11. Not a man afraid to get in close and personal to the Faceless Void. And they'll come out with a Ghost, look to commit to a push up top EHOME. And understandably, with this Axe and the Death Prophet up here with the ultimate online, it's unlikely that Escape Gaming are going to react to this, and they've just got to let this one go as EHOME take their first objective. I
mean, they could react by ganking bottom. Like, Ice 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 doesn't have any mana, he's not 6. I would actually prefer to see Kezu make a rotation right now rather than sit here. Because when the Exorcism is down, that's a huge chunk of damage that EHOME don't have. And the offlane tier 1 for Radiant is not really that valuable, but if they're not going to get punished, like they're not going to make any other movement on Escape to try to go for a counter kill, then it's fine, because your ultimate will be back up by the time you need it again on EHOME. So I think that they need to make some kind of rotation soon. You have Chrono, you have Exort, and Invoker.
Alright, here we go, trying to have a go on to Old Lanham. He'll turn around with a Fire Blast to Quaifa. Old Chick is turned back up to the mid lane as well, so Escape Gaming unable to get the job finished. As we can see, yeah, just across the board, the top 3 net worth at the moment, all over on the side of EHOME. Escape Gaming certainly falling behind in this laning stage, and as we've been saying, it's not something that you want to be happening, especially when you are running a Drow lineup.
Well, not just that, but just the fact that Old 11 has done so well in conjunction with your Drow being slowed down. Like we talked about the Vanguard delaying the blink. Sure, that's true. But the guy's already got 950 gold on top of his Vanguard. So it's not like it's going to delay it by that much. You got your level 6 on Era, so marksmanship is available. But I still feel like maybe they're thinking that they want to go into a later game, but I don't think you want to go into a later game against what EHOME have. There's just too many ways for them to start fights and too many ways for them to disengage. Like Naga Siren Song is something that we haven't really been seeing a whole lot in competitive play lately, outside of just like a couple of Chinese teams. Obviously, EHOME have played it in the past, but it's one of those heroes that it doesn't have to just eat the entire map. It can also be a tool for you to get away from big teamfight AoE, kind of like what Elder Titan and Void often bring to the table. So it's just a very nice utility for them to have.
A little burst of good news there for Escape Gaming as Quakefer gets his Midas done around the 9-minute mark. And as we can see, you know, regarding the CS, the fact that Old Chicken obviously left the lane, went top. A little bit of space was given to Quakefer, so he certainly has managed to start to catch up. And with that Midas, we can certainly expect to see him close the gap. And if the pace continues to go at this stage where, yeah, we're 10 minutes in, there's only been 1 kill on either side, there's definitely going to be scope and space for an Invoker to continue to farm up.
I mean, we're talking about space, but EHOME, they want to push the pace. They're going to have Ghost back up here. The timing is perfect. Like, Old Chicken's ultimate just came back up, and they're just going straight for the safe lane.
If they can get Era, that would be a very, very tilting kill for Escape Gaming. If they lose that Drow, he's already had a tough start. If they can take him down as they come with the wraparound, Eren Sin, they're on their own. There's 3, 4 of them coming in on the side of EHOME. Old Chicken just popping the Ghost. The Static Storm's down. They're not messing. They'll take down one. Kezu comes across with the 3-man Chronosphere. They'll be able to take down one. At the same time, Cinderon's still been left behind. EHOME, they're chasing him down. Dug down by Old 11. They'll take a second. EHOME will still win the engagement 2-for-1, regardless of Kezu's presence. As other than a Chronosphere, obviously at this stage of the game, not a lot more that the Void can offer.
I mean, they did pretty much everything that they could do to try to save him there. It's just once the Drow is caught, like without Avenge or something to get her into a better position, the hero is most likely going to die. Grave just delays the inevitable, and if the Axe is there and has the Coal, then it doesn't really matter either way if the Shallow Grave's even online.
He's got the glimpse back onto Quakefer. It's only the 2 of them, and Old Lanham is out of fuel. Mana isn't there to drop anything onto the magic map. Kezu has been eyed up by Old 11. Old 11 trying to close in to get off a call. He's going to give him a bit of a wallop at the moment. No creeps to call in as well, so as he gets super lucky with the RNG, he's going to be able to do too much. Era's now returned back down to the bottom lane. EHOME found the space, found the pressure. They'll take another tier 1, and look at the money in this man's bank. Old 11, 2.5k gold. He's going to be able to pick up that Blink Dagger and just about to hit on to level 11 as well. 11.5 minutes in. This has got to be one of the fastest axe progressions I've seen in competitive in quite a while. This is an insane start.
He's gigantic. I mean, at this point, he probably doesn't even have to buy Blade Mail. He can just go straight Crimson, you know? When you have Crimson with a Death Prophet and you just have that extra defensive utility to keep her alive with the Ghost going, you can just run at the enemy team. Like, if you Chrono at this stage and the Exort Invoker doesn't have enough points in the Exort for the Meteor to do enough damage to get kills, the rest of the damage on their team is all physical. So Crimson Guard just blocks everything. The Forge Spirits, all the right click. It's such a good item this game. And if EHOME want to keep pushing the pace, I feel like it fits very well.
So yeah, so just getting a smoke delivered out. We'll see if Escape Gaming are able to move around as a grouping and try and find some sort of action against EHOME. But as we can see, it's going to be very hard with the progression that EHOME's managed to maintain in this early stages. And EHOME themselves, of course, they're the ones to be moving out for the action, looking for some fun. They've found Cinder and Old Lanham closing in. He's relatively close to the tower. A bit of a mess there, but there's the glimpse back. Cinder, and he does have help. Well, it was Kezu, and he walked straight into the Static Storm. Chrono comes out, but Cinder, and he's still silenced up. Can he save himself? He can. Goes for the art style. He keeps himself alive. Old 11. He's not an RV fan. Takes him down. Era's going to fall as well. They've lost 2. Escape Gaming. The Stopper's going to come out, hold some of them back. Kezu and Yapsor will be able to escape. They did manage to find the Disruptor, but again, it's EHOME with these successful fights and trades and killing the Era Drow Ranger once again. It's looking painful for the boys on Radiant.
He's definitely not getting what he needs, that's for sure. And the problem is they haven't really been able to counter pressure any towers. Like, all of EHOME's movements have gone almost unpunished. Like, the tier 1 is the only one that's low, and it's not even in deny range yet. So EHOME taking the safe lane tier 2 at 13 minutes in against a team with a Drow, that is probably the opposite of where you want to be. At this stage, you know, Escape, they want to be grouping up as 5 around their
Oh! Hey!
All right.
Old 11 jumps in, tickles his throat, isn't going to go for the full-fledged call. The Cinder's just out of range, but they get themselves the tower, the space is there. Now looking towards maybe the tier 1 mid as well. Andy, how do Escape Gaming just stop this momentum at this stage?
They need a, again, it's about the chrono. They need a really good chrono, and hopefully Quake does at the team fight, because the Sunstrike is okay, obviously, but you want to be able to throw in more damage. You want the Earth Splitter to be there. The Wombo combo is how they turn a team fight, and that's something that their lineup does enable them to do, but it's also very reliant on EHOME being out of position. Like, you want to catch, like, the Naga inside of the chrono, I think, and the Axe, but to catch them both is very hard because they're going to be in very different positions during the team fight. Because if you chrono and the song comes out, then the rest of your heroes can't do anything, right? And you're just sitting there.
Fenrir cleans back onto Era. He needs some kind of help coming around. Old Chicken already closing the gap with a Siphon. It's going to be warded back as Escape Gaming are there in the full force. Chrono's back up in 20 seconds. In fact, well, pings onto Ice as he comes across. Kezu needs some backup if he wants to try and make a go onto this Naga Siren, but still realizing the issue, and oh, Era's been caught out again by the glimpse. He's into the storm, can Cinneren save, and no! Cinneren, he walks it off. No grave for you, sir. Still just a level 1 grave, so I imagine wasn't quite the range to save Era, and now EHOME moving in for potentially more. The Spirit comes out from YapzOr, and that will stop EHOME from advancing. But again, they're losing the Era Drown at Ranger time and time again here.
Well, the thing is, they're kind of being forced into playing this style where they need to try to push. But every time they try to push, EHOME already have all the core items necessary on their Axe to just start fights. And that's why I was saying, like, Old 11's item timing is going to be very important for EHOME's success. If they had done anything to slow his progression, I'd say they might have a better chance. But the problem is they can't. Because if they put heroes in that lane, then that means your Drill Ranger has an even harder time. Because then you're playing 3v2. And then maybe another hero starts rotating around from EHOME and they're able to find a kill elsewhere on, you know, mid perhaps, because Quake was already losing that lane quite hard. But it's a rough spot, to say the least. I feel like they were kind of drafted into a corner at the last pick because it didn't really seem like there were a ton of heroes that were really good. And that's when you feel like one team has been outdrafted, when you can't think of a single hero that's going to put them in a good position. I think Drow is just the best of a bad spot.
Escape Gaming maybe to look to just utilize that Drow as much as they can, as they will look towards the top tier 1, just trying to find the openings for these objectives that they desperately need to find. At a game that's 16 minutes in, EHOME have certainly started to push the momentum, push the pressure. Era, he's going to hang back. Doesn't want to be involved in the next bit of action. He just wants to make sure that he has that aura. He has himself alive to offer to the push. And EHOME, Old Chicken moving into the pit. Pops the ghosts out. And again, this is at a point of the game where Escape Gaming unlikely to be able to do anything about this. They'll know what's going on.
But they made a trade at least. They're not just losing Roshan for no reason. They killed the tier 1. They're going to leave Quake from up there as long as they possibly can. Because they need to start splitting up the map.
Maybe they can get over there. They are thinking about it. The Roshan isn't falling maybe as fast as EHOME would have hoped. The Spirit's in, weaves down, Kezu jumps forward. Chrono's only going to catch Ice though. Kezu, he's trying to finish off Roshan, but he hasn't got the damage. He can't quite do it. Old 11 jumps back in. Kezu's been caught up. Arrow, Static Storm on the sidelines. They will take down the Disruptor, but Roshan's down. Aegis has been picked up by Ice. They'll song up and try and move out. The damage from Hera is starting to mount up, especially with this minus armor on Old Chicken, and they will be able to finish off the Death Prophet. They'll get themselves another. Old 11 did try for a Blink call, but the Forge Spirits held him back, cancelling that Blink Dagger. So Escape Gaming managing to poke a little bit at EHOME, but unable to steal the Roshan and the Aegis, as Naga will be able to take that away safely.
It would have been huge if they actually got that. Like, Kezu went for the all-in. He didn't even care about hitting heroes with the chrono. He just wanted to make sure that everyone else was isolated from the pit. So that way he had the best possible chance of being able to steal that Aegis. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out, but they got one high-priority kill on taking out the Death Prophet. I think Ice could have actually saved him because he had Song going, but he was just running like the opposite direction.
I'm out of it.
Yeah, he pieced. He's like, I'm done with this. I got my item. I'm out of the pit.
Like, you can throw. I'm not throwing.
I think all in all it was still okay for EHOME. Maybe not as clean as they would have liked, but they're still kind of kind of on pace. The interesting thing to me, and whenever I watch Escape, even if they're not winning, is Quakefa literally always has the highest net worth.
He's just
all the time.
I think that's where the 75% of the the battle pass level money goes.
Honestly, it really feels
straight
that way.
to Quakefa's net worth.
I mean, he's got a full Aghanim.
Oh, Synderen, he's got a full axe down his throat.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the worst teams I feel to play Dazzle against because they just love axe.
It's got to be a bit of a Dazzle nightmare, especially when the Axe has had such a good start.
Yeah.
Synderen's like, oh boy.
I mean, it's a really interesting dynamic between the two heroes because you have Dazzle is good against Axe in lane.
Yes.
But after the laning phase is over, Axe just hard counters what you do. I mean, sure, if you get a weave out, maybe you get some extra right-click damage, and it's good enough to take down a tanky hero. That's going to be good with the Elder Titan synergy for sure. But otherwise, it's like, if the Axe is ahead of you, it's a nightmare.
Pushing in on mid. Looks like they want to try and do something in return. Okay. Kezu jumps in. Two-man Chronos for the Sunstrike. The burst. There we come with the split. They've taken both of them down. Escape Gaming hitting EHOME hard there with a 1-2 combo. And now jumping in for more. They've got eyes onto Femre. Doesn't look like they're going to have the catch, though. There's going to be another jump forward if Kezu wants to go for it, but he's going to hold back. There's a haste rune on the Disruptor as he's out. But EHOME there, getting punished for the push in Escape Gaming. They'll turn it right round on its head and look for a push themselves off the back of it, potentially.
There's a bit of hubris there from EHOME, just trying to push into a tier 1 with only 2 heroes and realizing that Escape clearly have their cooldowns. And you didn't even have your Naga Siren song. Like, it's still not even off cooldown from when Ice Slice used it in the pit. So just a bit of maybe miscommunication or thinking they could get away with something like that, but too greedy of a play. They get punished very hard. Like, Axe and the Death Prophet are 2 of the highest net worth heroes on the side of EHOME. Those are huge kills.
7-7 now. But at the same time, we've still got to remember EHOME with the pace that they can play. And they do, of course, have that Radiance done on Ice. We're going to get a replay now of that. As, slow motion as well. There's the Earth Splitter, putting EHOME in the respawn. Yes. But there we have it. 1-2 combo, beautifully executed by Escape Gaming. Well, we're back in. We'll jump a few frames forward there. Some Benny Hill music, please. But back on EHOME, trying to finish off that tier 1 in the mid lane. Looks like they'll be able to get it this time. No Splitter or Chronosphere available, so Escape Gaming can't put together that formidable defense they did before. Kezu, whoa! Nice time walk, son. There's a glimpse, though. There she counters. Static Storm as well. Old 11 trying to move in for the dunk. Karoo, can you get out? No, you can't. Old 11, he's got the dunk down.
If that wasn't a multi, I think he actually lives there. Because the glimpse
he would have had
right?
a chance to time walk again.
Yeah, and he had time dilation on Old 11, so he wouldn't have been able to call twice. That was very, very close, actually. A very valiant attempt there from Kezu. But EHOME they're still on point. I mean, they haven't really done anything to pressure the Naga Siren, so Ice now has his Radiance completed and almost 1,700 gold in his inventory. He's still on track for what he needs. Obviously still ahead of the Drill Ranger, and there's going to become this time in the game where the lanes are getting pushed in slowly. You know, Escape have decent amount of wave clear, but that's the point where EHOME's lineup really starts to become terrifying because you have to worry about illusions more the longer the game goes. And when you're worrying about illusions, you're not always paying attention to like blink initiations or, you know, if EHOME are smoke ganking and whatnot. So it becomes a lot more difficult.
And all ults back up now for Escape Gaming as well as Kezu's Diffusal Blade. So we'll be able to offer a bit more punch to the next bit of action that happens. As we can see, old Chicken picked up the point booster, looks a bit casual now. He realizes he needs a BKB on this Death Prophet. Yeah. This game against Quakefa and such.
It's super, super good against their heroes. But this is a hard game to itemize, I feel, as a Death Prophet, because you're against a lineup with a Dro, and then there's Dazzle as well. So you have like this mass minus armor. You want a BKB because you're playing against an Invoker, and just that hero alone makes you want to buy BKB. So I feel like in some ways, the kind of damage output that Escape Gaming have is difficult for the Death Prophet to itemize against, even when you're ahead. So like the next item he needs after BKB has to be an armor item, or like a Ghost Scepter or something. Otherwise, he's just going to get right-click down.
Well, at this stage, I mean, we talked about earlier how the pace was slow. EHOME started to step it up. It started to slow down a bit again, but EHOME moving into their own jungle. Escape Gaming has come across, and well, they've caught him out. Old Levin jumps in, immediately gets him with the call. Era will be punished for his presence, and the rest of Escape Gaming start to get themselves on the retreat, but Synderen, oh, he's been glimpsed. They get the vision, they bring him back. Synderen, he'll be able to join Era Back in the base for 30 seconds.
He must have held that TP for a while, because like the draw didn't die that fast, right? It feels like he might have just hesitated a bit. I'm not sure why. I feel like he should have been able to get away from that. I don't know. I have to watch the replay to be sure, but a bonus kill for EHOME. Still no pressure really being applied here to Ice Ice Ice. He goes for the bots, just disassembles the Arcanes. Now he's probably making his way towards what I assume is going to just be the Octarine straight up. Unless he feels like he wants to make a pit stop at Yasha. Kind of differs, I think. Yeah, he's going to get the Yasha.
Yeah.
But the game plan is very, very clear from EHOME. All they want to do is restrict the map away from escape as best they can. You know, you only take team fights if Old Chicken has his ultimate. And whatever objectives you can get between that time are kind of just icing on the cake.
Sierra starts to sneak around with this completed Shadow Blade.
A very interesting choice.
It's, I mean, what are you using it for? Because looking at EHOME's lineup, you're not really going to be able to use it for going out and finding solo picks, are you, against EHOME's tanky heroes?
I think it's because he wants an item that's going to make him feel safer while he's like split pushing or trying to make something happen out on the map. Because normally you don't make a lot of escape items on this hero, and you like 4 staff is pretty mediocre. Sure, you already have the Dragon Lance, so you can make it into a Hurricane Pike or whatnot, but this gives him more damage, and it kind of gives him that survivability, or maybe not survivability, but the way to escape ganks that he's looking for.
Top lane.
Lanham?
Yeah, they're looking for him. He's going to go for the straight TP out, but quite for quick with the cold snap. Old Lanham taken down.
How did that TP not go off? I thought he was out. That's a good kill, though. Takes a lot of pressure off of Era. He can push like the next couple of waves. Escaper are slowly but surely making their way back in this.
Well, they really are. And as expected, you know, Quoifer. I mean, this is the classic net worth look when we see an Escape Gaming game. Quoifer at the top. Oh, he's just been knocked off the top spot, as I said that by Ice Ice Ice, but towards the top. Then the opponent's cores, and then the rest of Escape Gaming. Blink Dagger on himself. Do have the gem now on Elder Titan as well. So looking to take up some control of the map. He absolutely wants to be careful. And in fact, they want to jump in, Kezu. To move in, but the silence and quick response here. Kezu's still trying to bash away at 11, and Fenrir taking out, but the song comes out. Escape Gaming can't quite finish it, but they still got an Earth Splitter. Yapsor wasn't caught out by the song. It'll clip onto Old 11. EHOME trying to get themselves out of it. The Diffusal Blade charge dropped down to Fenrir. They'll find the Disruptor kill, but Old Chicken coming in hard onto Kezu. He's got the Grave from Sinner and will be able to get himself out. Old 11 maybe contemplating going back in. Sinner he's going to drive for the TP, but the Yules, the Cooler, everything's there to stop the little purple bugger getting home, and Sinner on the Dazzle falls. But it's a 1-for-1 trade there in EHOME's jungle. Does force the Ghost to obviously be used on the Death Prophet, so EHOME may be unable to then look for a push themselves off the back of it. So even trades at this point, does it favor Escape Gaming?
I think Escape probably wanted more out of that, because if you look at the way the fight kicks off, Fenrir is stuck inside of this chrono, but Ice Ice Ice, perfect song timing, his spacing is on point. Fenrir dodges the Earth Splitter so he doesn't drop there, allows him to get the Static Storm off, which ultimately means that EHOME don't lose more in the fight. And if Ice 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 wasn't in the right spot, that could have been a total disaster, because Kezu's Chrono was actually very good. He caught like 2 of the heroes that you really want to make sure are inside of it. But that's kind of what I was saying during the draft, is the Naga is just such a good thing to have against Chrono, because if you never get Chronosphered, you can always stop the heroes from dying. Like almost all of the time, except if maybe an Invoker throws a Sunstrike from across the map. Clearly you're not going to be sleeping him, or if an Earth Splitter flies in. But unfortunately for Yapsor, it was too late.
Is he tempted to go for some in here? He certainly is. Cold Snap's jumped down as Quoifer jumps in. There we go. He can't quite finish the job off, though. Old Lanham, he's going to be able to get away. Old Chicken's turn up. Quoifer says it's time to bail. Goes for the TP out. Will make it.
Oh, he messed up, actually. Old Chicken. That was not great. Sunstrike in the well. Did he miss? Yeah, I think he missed.
Yeah, he missed.
So he didn't tread switch, Old Chicken. He had enough mana for Yules, but he was on strength treads instead of int, so he could have stopped the TP, but he didn't switch his treads. It's actually a very, very big kill that they just missed, because up until this point, Quoifer hasn't died at all. That was a huge misplay.
I mean, yeah, just to point again to Quoifer's ridiculous performance. As we were talking about before the game, as well as the draft was going on, Quoifer certainly turned up for TI today, with TI level performances on his mid lane.
The crazy thing is he only has Blink. That's not really the best escape item if you think about it. So the fact that he hasn't really been in a situation where he's going to die at all and is only utilizing 1 mobility item is pretty stellar, to say the least. But I guess you could say the same for Old Chicken. Like, sure, he kind of made a mistake there, but he just owned Koikfa in lane with Drow Aura.
Koikfa's got to be careful here. It will Ghost Walk, but Old Levin's caught him. He needs help. Kezu is coming in. The Chrono.
No.
It's an oh-no. It's not going to catch anyone, but Koikfa gets the tornado out, holds Old Levin back. Will continues to retreat, goes for the quick TP out. He is going to make it. Old Levin won't be able to find him. So very, very tentative plays there at the top, and Escape Gaming nearly losing some very painful losses.
That was flat out picnic right there from Kezu. He just was like, oh my god, my Invoker's gonna die. I need this sphere right now. And that's actually still kind of a big whiff due to the Ghost being available here. So they can just push the tower if they want to try to go high ground or go for Roshan even, because that respawn, that Chronosphere miss right there could have some huge implications for Escape Gaming.
Trying to do the best they can, EHOME, with that window of opportunity. Certainly have started to respect Escape Gaming's play, the fact that they've managed to hold it out to this stage where, you know, still relatively young in a game cycle, but 29 minutes in a game where EHOME certainly had a very dominant performance at the start. Escape Gaming have certainly stepped it up, showed their hand, and EHOME, they're going to sit back, go for the objective, get the Roshan. And this is the point, as we said, without that Chronosphere, Escape Gaming, they'll scout it out, but unlikely they can do anything about this.
I mean, maybe if they had started moving a bit sooner, you do have Elder Titan, so there's the chance that you could delay the Rosh at the very least. But stopping it completely is going to be tough, and they're not willing to take that risk right now. So they're going to give it to EHOME, which obviously not the best, but again, due to the fact that Kezu misses Chrono means that their teamfight utility is not where it needs to be to take that engagement. So all things considered, EHOME still looking to be in the driver's seat for a bit longer. That being said, though, Escape Gaming have a couple of ways to take fights. We've seen some really good Chronospheres from Kezu. We've seen the follow-up with the Earth Splitter coming out from Yapsor and Koikfa's damage as well. So their high ground defense is great. There's no question about it on Escape, and maybe that's what they need to turn the game.
Kezu and Koikfa getting in position here on the top lane. Error, item progression post Shadow Blade. Oh, Yasha lies still. 1900, I guess he will still just finish at the Manta style on the Drow, and then where else can we expect to see Error go as this game does potentially go later and later?
I kind of feel like it's, at this point, it's almost what his preference is. Does he want more survivability? Because if he does, I think Hurricane Pike is still a really good item. It gets yourself like farther away if you get ensnared, you know, if you get stunned or something like that, you can get yourself out. Because that's one of the things that Escape kind of lack right now, even though their name is literally Escape Gaming. He has no escape item. Like, Shadowblade's not going to get you out in the team fight if the enemy team has gem or has any sort of detection whatsoever. So I wouldn't mind that too much. The other option is he can go for BKB. And I think BKB is the choice that you make when there's a really big objective to fight over. So, like, say if Roche respawns, and around that time he has enough money for BKB, then I think that will most likely be the choice.
Do you imagine that EHOME will look to try and get something achieved with this Aegis, or are they waiting for further item timing so that they themselves just feel under no pressure to hurry the pace up? You know, obviously Ice, he's having a great game, he's getting a lot of space, he's got the Octarine done.
And they will smoke, yeah.
That might have been the signal to get things rolling.
They were just waiting for Ghosts, because obviously Old Chicken used it for Roshan, so now that it's back up, they're looking to do something with it. And I think that's fair. When you have this kind of... This team doesn't actually carry Aegis that well, in my opinion, like EHOME's lineup, because Axe is the type of hero who's going to die when he's in the middle of the entire enemy team. Oh my
he
God.
Just went in for a heal.
He's fine, he's fine. That Force Staff. Wait, Sind has an item? Am I watching the same Dota
Was that
game?
his Force?
Is that a bug?
That was.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, we'll fix that next patch.
Synderen no longer can buy items in-game besides wards.
Yeah, they did that a few years ago. Yeah.
No, but this is a really good timing for EHOME to try to make something happen. But obviously 5-man smoke gang fails, gives Escape a little bit of breathing room, lets Koikfa and whatnot farm a few more waves.
Absolutely, that's got to be only good news there for Escape Gaming. Mid lane, Old Levin still has his eyes on the kill. If he wants to go for it, he will. Jumps in, gets the call off onto Synderen on the backlines. They'll drop a Static Storm as well. It's a high priority kill. They want that Dazzle dead, and they'll get it. Kezu comes in with a Chrono. Sunstrike out to Old Levin. Do they have the damage to disperse this Axe with the punches? But he uses himself up, dodging the Earth Splitter. Continues to move out, gets the blink away. They've lost two Escape Gaming. Now the song comes in. Kezu enjoys the last song he'll hear in a long time as EHOME surround him. Beat down, he gets a time walk out. Get that man an OS from.
Yeah,
but it's not good enough.
It's okay though. The time walk just can't get him far enough away. It's not really that great unless you're able to like time walk up a cliff or into fog or something like that. That's when you can truly get yourself out of a situation like that. But EHOME gonna try to breach high ground here. Quakefoot drops the ice wall. It's about all he can do right now.
One-man defense from Quakefoot. Can he do it on his own? I mean, he's certainly doing a good job of it. Tornado, EMP, and an ice wall. That's all you need to deal with EHOME apparently for a good 20 seconds. Sends them packing.
Well, they kind of used all their ultimates, right? They dropped the Static Storm to kill Sind, and then the Ghost had already been used to kill the Tier 2. So at that point, they don't have the tools they need to really breach the high ground anymore, because without the use of Exorcism, none of their other heroes really hit buildings except for Naga, and Ice 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 was already somewhere else on the map split pushing. So it's a good decision from EHOME to back. They got some net worth out of that. They killed Kezu, they killed Synderen.
EHOME now, at this point, is that simply going to be just rinse and repeat, sit back, wait for the song, wait for the exorcism to come online, and then go again? They just feel no need to try and do anything. And looking at the positioning of them as well, they're not too scared about Escape Gaming doing anything or looking for any pickoffs at this stage.
Well, they know that Chronosphere was used as well. So they have that timing. They're saying, okay, well, we know at least, you know, it's not level 16 Void, so the Chrono's like almost 2 minutes cooldown, give or take. And then at that point, maybe you're a little bit scared, but the problem that Escape are running into is every time EHOME cross the river, almost the entirety of Escape have to go back to base to defend. And when that happens, you're not really split pushing enough to make EHOME scared of really anything. And the lane equilibrium is going to become more and more important, and that's why I mentioned, you know, as Ice 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 gets more items after that Radiance, it's harder for Escape to take fights because they're always worried about trying to de-push their lanes. And that's why Quakefoot, you know, obviously goes bots and he's top lane, he's bottom lane, he's all over the place trying to make sure that Ice 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 doesn't get that map dominance that you so often see from a Naga Siren.
As you see, Octarine's all around Quakefoot with his. At the same time, Old Chicken has just finished off one for himself as well. So the frequency of these pushes is certainly going to be amped up by EHOME with the better readiness of that DP ultimate.
Now the game's pace hasn't really been super fast because both teams have the ability to farm, but it's more been Escape are under the gun. Like they're just the ones who are getting ran at. They had, I mean, if you think about it this way, they lost all 3 other lanes, and they're still holding on pretty well given the circumstances. Up against the Naga Siren pressure, up against the Death Prophet, popping the ultimate pretty much on cooldown to go for objectives. And speaking of, EHOME have Old Chicken's Exorcism up once again. They're going to go for a 3-man smoke this time.
Absolutely, and it looks like Kezu could be on the menu if all 11 heads this way. Definitely vision up there on the high ground, so EHOME kind of moving across blindly. They'll obviously spot the push from Era in the mid lane going on, but at the same time, the rest of Escape Gaming are there. They're starting to move away from the Drow, so if he does get jumped, they might not be able to get there quick enough in response. It looks like they won't be able to find the opening in Era. He's going to be able to inadvertently just avoid that attack that EHOME were looking for as he heads towards the east, and EHOME, they'll just head towards the top. They have got a creep wave moving in, so at the least, the tier 2 top will be taken. Maybe they can try and push on more for our high ground push, or is there another play here for EHOME? I mean, are EHOME ready to go all in and try and break the base of Escape Gaming, or is that still a little bit too risky for them without a pick outside first?
I don't actually think it's that risky to try to siege, because if worst case scenario, say you get sphered with like 3 heroes inside. If Ice 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 is not in that sphere, you can always disengage. Like that's the beauty of the lineup that EHOME put together. Is not only do you have the disengage, but if Fenrir is in a good position, you can also counter-initiate and just straight up kill. Because at this point, I don't even think there's a single BKB.
Wera, he came out, he's going to be jumped on. Will there be any kind of save in time? No, the dunk down's there. Old 11 takes down the Drow range, the glimpse back, sending one of them out. Kezu, he's out of the fight. Ripped back really across the map. There's going to be no Chronosphere for this defense because of that glimpse. And they'll move in. They see the opening. EHOME coming in hard with the Ghost. Here we have on the Kezu cam. A little bit of cross-country as he walks his way back to base. EHOME, let's see how much they can get done to the racks. Kezu, he's put on his jogging boots. He has managed to close the gap, and in he comes with the blink. Chron onto 2, the buyback from Aaron, making sure that the aura's there. Old Chicken getting bursted down. The Earth Splitter, ripping through 3. They're taking down the Death Prophet. Old 11 uses himself up, but he's still going to die. The Spirit from Yapzor finishes him off. This Elder Titan playing out of his mind there to follow Kezu's Chrono. And they'll take down 2 of the big boys on EHOME, and they'll hold the base for the time being at Escape Gaming, keeping those racks alive.
Where was the song, Owen? Ice was standing outside of base. I thought he
maybe he had a frog in his throat.
He was in position, but he just threw it out so late. I'm not sure if he didn't have mana, because he was very, very low on mana when the fight kind of ended. So we can see his positioning. So the Chronosphere comes out, and then Ice is actually above the sphere on the top left, and he had very low mana, so maybe... No, he did have enough. But the song comes in, and by that point, the Earth Splitter had already been used, so obviously EHOME had lost this fight. As soon as that Earth Splitter lands, that's pretty much the wombo combo that we were talking about that lets Escape Gaming back into this. So unfortunate that he didn't get the timing that he was looking for, but he does have Song up again.
Absolutely, Octarine course, pretty good item, sets up onto 4 of them. Here we go, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, catching out Kezu and Synderen. They'll try and get the multicast out to Koifa as the Ogre chases him down. Kezu time walks out, will manage to jump up to the high ground at the last possible moment, but Koifa playing with luck here as Outlander, trying to land down the combo. Ice stopped up by the Stomp. Kezu coming in with the bashes, but again Outlander on this Ogre, just running around the battlefield, dropping down the jackpots. They'll take down 2. Escape Gaming again in return. Their push will be stopped by EHOME, and EHOME, they'll be ready to push back as the ghosts from Old Chicken come back online. Error, always being caught out by Ice. Drow versus Naga, 1v1 me son. Well, it's not going to work, especially when an axe turns up. Old 11, making the battle unfair, but does the dirty. Takes down Error. And when there may have just been a little glimmer of hope for Escape Gaming to capitalize on EHOME's mistakes, again, it gets harder for them. Push comes in, 60 seconds without the Drow Ranger. Of course, he did use the buyback on that last fight, Error. Chronosphere, it's going to be there in 20 seconds.
No, they have it. He's going to revive
he can buy
in 20
back,
seconds. Yeah. But I don't know if he buys back for 1 set of racks.
It looks like he might be back in time. See what EHOME can do. There's the Ghost. Old Chicken, ready to move in, ready to try and take this middle lane Rex. They do have fortification available though, Escape Gaming. Trying to do their best to hold them back. 30 seconds without the Drow. Old Lanham on the front at the moment. Kezu has that Chrono. Let's see where he jumps in. But Old Chicken got the BKB off in time. That's going to be the Koifa. He's going to be limited in what he can do, especially when there's an axe calling him. Old Chicken keeps himself alive. The dog coming through on top of Koifa. Buys back immediately on the Invoker. Needs to get himself back in, but Sinding Yapsor, they're being silenced. No lot they can offer. Tornado for Koifa. Going to catch on to Old Chicken on the Death Prophet. Turn towards Ice, but he's running around with these illusions out. The Radiant Burn is causing so many issues for Escape Gaming. They just can't get close enough to jump back in onto EHOME. And Synderen dies! Oh, the illusions have killed him. Synderen back to base. Ice, having fun there with the Dane.
That's a feels bad, man. That's just insult to injury at this point. I mean, I guess at the very least, they only lost 1 set of racks. The tier 3 is getting kind of low. I don't know if they're going to deny it, but it's kind of getting to that state now where you're really feeling the presence of the Naga Siren. Like, Ice went from being neck and neck with Koifa to 50% more net worth than the next highest person in the game. And the timing of EHOME is just on point. You know, they're going for Roshan. Cheese is up now. They can give it to Ice. I think he actually, does he have one inventory slot right now? No, he doesn't. Never mind. They're going to give it to somebody else. But yeah, this is a 6-slotted Naga. 41 minutes into the game, and he's got 4,600 gold on top of that. So very unfortunate stuff. And we're gonna get a chance to see this high ground siege. The BKB pop. That saved his life, 100%.
Absolutely.
And you can also see the damage difference when Era is not alive. Like, if they have a couple of range heroes with the weave, and even if he gets the BKB off, if the Drow Ranger was there, they probably get that kill.
How much is he dishing out? Increased, what, 70 damage,
it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, you do the math, but that's a lot. That's what, extra 350 when he himself's alive and giving to himself and everyone. That's
but the problem is
a rapier.
The problem is with their lineup, they had this timing where they have a huge amount of physical damage output because they have Elder Titan Aura, and then they also have the Dazzle Weave. And before, Old Chicken had no armor items at all, so it was actually very easy for them to shred the hero because they just right-click it to death. But the problem is now, he has the Octarine finish, and now he's building into armor, which just boosts his effective HP by a tremendous amount. So it's going to become even harder for that hero to be taken down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As you see, Koifa just consistently pushing out with these side lanes, just trying to get as much pressure put on EHOME to make it as hard as he can for them to be able to group up and go in as 5 again. BKB now picked up on Invoker as well, so Koifa's got that as well to just help him keep himself alive, but still the imminent threats of the call and such.
Wait, Owen, am I crazy, or did Didn't Era have a point booster at some stage?
Era certainly did have a point booster, and he had about 1,100 gold towards the rest of the Aghanims. Looks like he has sold it and gone back for the BKB Era, so he's pushed himself down even more. He did have a point booster.
Okay, I'm not getting senile then in my old age. That's good to know. Good to know. Era? He's also struggling with the illusions at this point.
Nice. He's just soloing the top racks at the moment. The rest of EHOME putting the pressure on. Kezi jumps in, gets the Chrono off onto 2. The Earthspinner will come flying through as well. There's the combo for Quaifa. Old Lanham got up into the air with the Yules as well as Old Chicken keeping themselves alive here. Old Chicken, can he survive this? He can't, but he's got the Aegis. Buyback from Yapso trying to get himself back into the fight. There's a buyback available from Kezi, but of course no Chrono. Realizes that everything's going to be needed for this last fight. Good EHOME, they're coming in hard. Yapso's going to get dug down. It's a triple kill for Old 11 on the axe. Blinks himself out as well in style as EHOME absolutely powering down now onto Escape Gaming. It looks like this could be the end of the road for Cinder the boys in game 1. Quaifa, is he going to get Dunkaroo? He's not. Old Chicken, he wants a bit of a taste of the triple kill action, and indeed Escape Gaming tap out. EHOME turning up now on a day where at the beginning against Execration, you may have said, looking at it, EHOME, what's happened? This is a team that we expect to blaze through the wild cards. Here we have it in this game. I wouldn't say the cleanest performance because there were still trip-ups. Escape Gaming was still able to punish some over-aggressive maneuvers from EHOME, but overall, as the game